Welcome back to the Grateful Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Wagoner, and today I'm recording another one of my on-the-road episodes. I'm here in Quail Creek State Park in Utah. You can see the plateaus and the beautiful creek, I guess they call it. It looks more like a lake to me, behind me. This has been so beautiful. It's been very, very hot in Utah, and that's been a little difficult, but we found a little paradise right here next to where we were suffering the heat. Literally like 1,000 feet that way is where we were staying before. So now we're here. It's been amazing. Today I was lucky enough to get to hike the Narrows and in Zion National Park, one of the most famous hikes in the country. And my friend and I got up early enough, caught the first shuttle, and hiked so fast that we had one of the most popular hikes in the country to ourselves for 2 hours. There's nothing like having just such sought after paradise literally to yourself, being able to scream and hear the echoes or stay silent and listen to the almost, it sounds like drums of the river coming and lapping against the sides of the canyon, or watching the sun as it slowly creeps down and illuminates everything. It was beautiful. And then it was an amazing ego boost to walk back and realize that we were, besides this one Floridian guy we met, who was really cool, we were an hour in front of everybody else, which is just crazy. We saw probably like 1,000 people on our way back. It was awesome. It's amazing the amount of people that get out there and do fun things like that, like a mile into the national park, into a hike, 40-minute bus ride. Like, people are committed to seeing nature and seeing wilderness. Those are values that no matter what you believe in, we can all share and really connect over. So, to get into what I talked about in my newsletter that I'd like to talk about today, a lot of people go on these journeys, and they hope to find some change within themselves while experiencing change outside of themselves. They hope that seeing new sights and going on a trip will catalyze some internal changes for the better. And unfortunately, that's just not how things work. You cannot expect to change something within yourself by doing something outside of yourself. You can't go somewhere to escape the pain you feel within. You are always with you. You're the common factor in all of your experience. So when you go somewhere or have a trip, don't set the intention of trying to change something within. Just soak up the experience for what it is. I think I've often set these intentions for myself. Like on this trip, you'll find much more inner peace. I definitely do feel another level of inner peace while being out here, but it's not, I guess, to the degree that I had hoped for. And so when you set these actually impossible goals for yourself about your inner landscape while experiencing these outward things, you're not taking them in to their fullest degree. You're limiting yourself, and you're constantly thinking back to those goals. When I set goals for myself, I like to think about it this way. I need to set I'm either gonna have a goal and I'm gonna go after it, or I'm gonna not want it, and there you don't have to take action for it. But if you want something and you're not willing to do the work to get it, that's where most people's unhappiness lies. When you go on a trip, don't set the intention when you're starting of trying to achieve inner peace like I did. Instead, and I got this metaphor while we were at the Grand Canyon, which is just absolutely magnificent. Instead of trying to change your entire inner landscape, let these outside experiences carve a new bend in the river, or take off another layer of the canyon and go one layer deeper in the Grand Canyon. As you can probably see around me on some of this rock, there are different layers of different types of rock, and they kind of tell the story in the history of the canyon. And maybe an experience you have is very impactful and it takes off a layer of the rock, but no one thing is going to change you so much that it changes the entire landscape of who you are. That can only come from accumulation of things. So don't put the pressure on yourself or anything that you're doing to change totally who you are. You have to be patient with that. And the more patient you are, ironically, the faster it will come. If you're just doing something for the sheer enjoyment or the sheer benefit of it and not looking to gain anything from it besides that enjoyment, oftentimes those side effects will come. At least that's the experience that I've had. It's what many of the stories I've been reading talk about as well. Recently, I've been letting myself read a lot more fiction again. I reread two of my favorite books ever, Siddhartha and The Alchemist, and then I just read Damien by Hermann Hesse, who also wrote Siddhartha. And you can learn so much from these fictional stories, but they often have such common themes, same themes you'd find in a biography or a nonfiction, spiritual, religious text. And this theme I was talking about of either wanting something, going after it, or not wanting it, and those things being equal, that's one that I found so important. A lot of times I'll think of something like, oh, I want to, let's think of one that's very unattainable. I want to jump off that cliff in a squirrel suit and fly over here. Like it's a crazy example, but it's something that I want and I can't get it. And when you want something and you can't get it and you can't work toward it, or you're not willing to put the work in for it, that's when you start to feel like life is out of your control, like you're the victim of something. And so if you feel like you want something, there's always a way to try to get something. It's just about putting in that work that feels like a lot of effort to get it. Or you can realize, you can introspect and see, oh, maybe that's not something I truly want. I can let that go. I can let that desire fly away. I don't need to think about it anymore. It's not something I need to concentrate on. And then, there you go. Not wanting something is as good as having it, Naval Ravikant said. And that is so potent. Alright, that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Tomorrow we got lucky enough to get a permit for Angel's Landing, so we're doing another classic Zion hike. And we're going to try to rest up. Thank you for watching or listening. Not sure when I'll be able to get this out. I know podcast schedule has been a little weird. Back in July, or when we get to July, I'll be posting 3 episodes a week. It'll be normal again. We'll be growing. Excited to see what comes. Thank you for being here. It would mean the world if you could leave a review, if you haven't already, or do it again. And make sure to follow me on different socials. Thank you. Stay grateful.